All right,
Hi,
so
stream.
now everybody can hear us. Fantastic. So let's dive into everything. So when last we saw our heroes, Nate the Human Ranger, Gobs the Thrycreen Warlock, Othokent the Lizard Folk Life Domain Cleric, Talah the Half-Orc Druid, and Abraham the Human Wizard. We rejoined our friends after their evening of celebration and contemplation and canoodling in the village of Estelle before they decided to head back to the city itself. They made good time on it, but they did spend an evening in Dryden's magical mansion and enjoyed the comforts thereof, including confusing walkways, misappropriated bedrooms, and other activities. Upon reaching back to the city, they promptly went to find dear Lily, the gem dragon that Abraham has adopted, and Talah has also adopted as surrogate parents, to which they found that she was in the Tower of Gilgamesh with Chariotto. Upon arriving, Gobs was reunited with an old friend who they used to play video games with, upon which they went to the topmost portion of the tower, where they discovered the last of the 5 aspects of Gilgamesh, Elendoril. She is an older elf woman whose job is to keep an eye on the moon for the racist space elves and gnomes that live there who attack the city on a consistent basis. Upon being reunited with Lily, they discovered that her proximity to the Tower of Gilgamesh is allowing her to absorb great amounts of magical energy, and she has already reached the size of a young dragon, despite only being weeks old. So she continues to grow in strength, as well as size, mental capacity, and magical capabilities, as she has been studying under Zenyai, who has returned to the tower after her altercation with her older brother, as well as Elendoril also teaching her things about the world. Dryden is in process of moving into his old workshop that is in the tower, and this is where we will pick up this week's campaign. I believe that you guys had begun to head back to your apartment. Is that correct?
Yes, considering it was very late, we were heading back to the apartment with the idea of heading to S&J the next morning. Correct?
Works for me. I believe that's the case.
All right. So you guys proceed back. Nothing of note happens on the trip home, and you're able to arrive and get a full night's rest as expected. Anything special? Anything special anybody wants to do between the trip and the night and waking up the next morning?
Yes.
Okay, what's that?
Just at some point during the night, Milla's gonna get up and check the windows for anyone peeking in.
Why?
She is wanted. There's a bounty on her.
Fair.
And the moon.
Oh yes, and also taking a look at the moon, just in case a space gnome is watching.
All right, go ahead and give me that perception check.
It is on its way.
Mm-hmm.
14.
As far as you can tell, there's like a very small window in the living room, one above the kitchen sink, and one above the in the bathroom, and you don't notice anybody watching or anything unusual.
All right, that's all she's going to do during the night.
All right, it's the next morning. So, Nate, are you cooking breakfast as per normal?
Nexus.
Yes.
We lost that.
Also, making sure there's freshly made coffee and whatnot, the facility, so therefore.
I'll say you're able to do that at this point for basic breakfast, unless you're trying to do something fancy. I'm not going to make you roll anymore, so you should have no problem doing anything there.
Woohoo. And here's a large portion of pancakes and bacon.
Very nice.
Nice.
You made pancakes?
So everybody wakes up to the smells of breakfast. The exception being Otho, who is always up first and was already standing on the balcony watching the sunrise as he does every morning.
Beautiful.
Definitely enjoying the pancakes and bacon.
Definitely enjoying the pancakes.
Enjoying all of it. It is delicious.
Yes.
Being alive is glorious.
Well, of course it is.
Oh god, I'm looking at the last thing that was said by Milla in the previous session. How big is your breath? No, I said breath.
Good Lord. All right. So everybody gets up. Everybody's fully rested, fully healed, has all your spell slots, all that good stuff. And it's morning. What would you guys like to do?
Is there anything we have to do today?
Turn in the ring.
Yeah, head over to S&J. We should maybe call them ahead of time.
Right.
Let me just go ahead and do that. If no one else is already doing it, Gobx will be calling up the number for S&J.
Go ahead.
The guy at the front desk answers. S&J Associates, how can I help you?
Hello, you're speaking with Gobs and the team. We are heading in today with the completion of the job. We have the item.
Do you have your job number?
I presume we have that with the case, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would have your job number.
Then yes, I'll give that.
All right. We'll send a message to the client and have them meet you here to arrange payment.
All right, wonderful. See you in a bit.
I am offended.
Okay.
How do you not know who I am?
Hmm.
I am the great Milla Varn.
No longer Milla. Formerly known as Milla.
I am Gobs, formerly known as the Great Milla Varn.
The goblin formerly known as Milla. I like that one. Her symbol is just an ASCIIR to the middle finger instead of Prince.
Uh-huh.
Her signature just so happens to, in fact, look like a middle finger.
Purely coincidental.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So what else would you guys like to do?
Ooh. Maybe that weapons shop, magic shop has more stuff.
I think it was the magic shop where you got your sword. If that's
Yeah.
what you're referring to.
Seems
Yeah.
like a good place to check out once we've been paid.
And you got your quill.
Well, you got me the quill, but yes.
Also, wasn't there like a club dedicated to Rev Splendid or something? Did you see that last we were here?
Yeah.
No, we never actually got to go there, but I would love to see it.
Well, that's only partially true.
Deception?
I'm just saying, some of us did actually see it last time.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Cool.
Did they now?
Guess we could go. You want to see it, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Nate, I'll give you the address. And she just writes it down on a napkin. There you go.
I mean, you could just text me it.
I forget you have a phone. I'm used to the fact she doesn't. Let me do that as well.
I have a phone too.
I'm used to the fact that you don't. I know you do now, but I'm used to that you don't, so it didn't.
You got one for me.
I know, it was still not my first thought to text you. I'm sorry. Let me just text both of you the address then. Also this address in case you need to find your way back.
I know where it is.
I mean,
All right.
I'm
I'm
sure I
just
can
texting
find
it
my
tonight.
way.
I am texting it tonight.
So you ask her for the location, and they're like, I already know, and I can find my way anyways. Why did you ask for it?
I didn't ask for it. Gobx was just like, let me tell you the address. I never asked.
All right.
All right, so you guys are all up. You're all together. It's probably about 9 o'clock in the morning at this point. What are you guys doing?
For wanting to get paid, I guess we're going to SNJ.
Ending in
Yeah.
the job first, then.
Joe, we can always take other decisions afterwards.
If fate doesn't have other things in store.
Then we'll slap fate in its face. In its fates.
Hey, last time we went there, wasn't that when that sausage guy pulled us into that weird quest
Yes.
questionnaire thing?
Yes.
Or was that another city?
No, I think it was here.
Are
Wasn't it the
you
one with the
asking
ocean?
each other or asking the DM?
Each other.
Honestly, I don't remember. I don't want to remember either.
Well, let's just hope we don't get pulled into the sausage dimension again.
I love
That's-
that it's called the sausage dimension.
That sounds such an unpleasant.
I hate the
place.
sausage dimension. That piece
Agreed.
of shit. Kick him in the dick next time I see him.
I'll join you.
I at least smeared his shirt last time. Hit him with an arrow.
And you did a
It's-
good job of it.
Was sadly the least I could do.
Anyways,
All right.
let's get going to S&J.
Yeah, so it's about a 30-minute walk from your guys' apartment to there.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody's headed to S&J's.
Indeed.
Don't believe we're splitting the
Alright.
party yet.
Yeah, fantastic. So you guys are able to make your way there without too much trouble. So yeah, as you go, Nari, I'll have to look into it. I see your question.
Okay.
I'll need a minute to find that answer.
Alrighty.
So yeah, you're able to make your way to the building just fine. So all of you are standing outside of S&J and Associates.
In that case, I propose we go in.
Yep, mask on.
Oh, is this a loud heist? Okay.
Don't
Hey, hey.
act dumb. Don't act dumb.
Sorry.
Yeah, I guess we're going to go in. I'll let Milla do the talking.
Yes.
Or Gobx.
Gobx is our party face.
Top 6.
That is a fact that should horrify you. Also, on the way, will we walk past like just some mid-level bakery or something like that?
I'm sure there would be.
I'm gonna pick up something warm and cinnamony from there on the way. really don't care what.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to pick up assorted donuts, cinnamon rolls, all of that from just a side street bakery on your way in.
I'll say a silver's worth.
Okay.
So small bag.
Yeah, it's probably 2 dozen.
That works. So, as we get in, there's the front desk, right?
Yep.
And there's the guy behind the desk, I imagine.
Give me a second.
Did we ever get a name for him?
I mean, there's different people working the desk depending on the day. But
fair enough.
give me a second. I'm doing math on something.
Okay.
Sorry.
The square root of pi. God damn it, Nari.
No, I asked him the pi of the square root.
So, yeah, you didn't get a specific name because it changes.
Fair enough.
Nari, that's the answer if you were using a standard size bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, took me a minute to calculate all of it.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, so yeah, just it's a normal human looking guy, young, definitely has that young guy, somewhat fit rent-a-cop vibe. So not like the out of shape mall rent-a-cop, but the I do this so I can tell people I'm in security and I can beat people up guy.
So not Sean, but
Sean was scrawny AF.
Yeah, Sean was a
it was a sick
Beanpole?
description.
Is that
I
the
was
word I'm
taking
looking
a
for?
stab at Sean.
Ah. Good morning there. We called in a bit ago. We're here to make a delivery for a client. I don't know if they're in yet.
deliveries are in back.
Are you sure? It's for S&J Associates.
He just looks at it and goes, so, like, as in you're delivering a package, or you're a team that is responding to a client?
We just finished a client job. We are carrying a very
you
expensive
start
magical
with-
item.
We'll start with that next time, because you just sounded like you're here to drop off like a WebEx package. All right.
Mhm.
That's different. Those go to receiving. You're here to meet a client for a drop off.
Yes.
All right. Do you have your job ID?
Plapple off the ID again then.
All right. He types it into the computer and goes, all right, cool. You guys are access to top level. Your client hasn't arrived yet, but is on the way.
Perfect. We're free to go up then?
Yeah. You know where the executive elevator is?
Yeah, I believe we took it last time we were here. That is also sort of looking at the part like we did, didn't we?
Suppose so. Come on, let's go.
Yep. He's just setting up. All right, thank you.
Why can I not find? That's what I wanted. Sorry, I forgot to do something.
Le gasp.
Nobody's journals. Nobody should be able to see him. Boop.
Who is that?
You can't see him, right?
Not looking.
No.
No, he's
Okay.
messing with you.
All right, cool. All right, so yeah, so you guys get to the executive elevator without any trouble, and you ride it up. When you get to the top, as you step out, there's one of the many executive assistants goes, excellent, you are here. Have you, as a note, your team doesn't have a name in the system. You're just listed at team as Team 1624. Do you guys have a
Okay.
group name, or do you just want to be continued to be known as Team 1624?
We've not really talked that one over.
All right, so we'll put a pin in that. Just know that is something some teams like to do that for marketing purposes, things like that. Completely up to you. So it's not required, but it is an option. But yeah, we're going to have you in conference room 3. So if you guys could follow me.
Oh, would you mind taking this box once you're done? It's for the administrative staff. You're doing a wonderful job.
Oh, well, that's awful kind of you. I'll take it to the break room. Yeah, let's get you guys in here. And she walks you in. It's the same office you guys were in last time. So very nice high back chairs, a sofa, very comfortable. And as you guys get in, goes, there's waters in the fridge. If you need anything else, let us know, and I will take these. And she picks up the boxes and like, oh, these are from Sally's.
Yeah, it's right on the way here.
Yeah, we used to have one of the girls here used to live in some apartments these were on the way for them. And she used to bring them every first paycheck of each month. Good times. I think she had a baby, moved out somewhere west. Anyways, fell in love with an adventurer. He retired. She went off. You know how it goes. Half the women here are after their MRS more so than their associates, if you get my drift.
I gotcha. She doesn't.
And she goes, we'll let you know when your client arrives.
All right, thank you.
And then she steps out.
And now we just waste time here until he gets here. By the way, Talah, I've been meaning to ask, you make drawings of plants, right?
I mean, yeah.
Do you ever take pictures of them, or is it just drawings?
I just draw them.
All right. Is it a preference, or just not really thought of the picture thing?
It's a preference. I can get more detail in. Some pictures turn out blurry. And if I just draw them, it's just, sharp edges on everything.
Yeah, that's fair. Was just wondering is all.
I sometimes just take a leaf or two, stick that in there.
Don't they wilt?
I mean, eventually. But she opens her notebook, takes out a dried leaf, and then just druid crafts it back to what it was. And then I can see the detail again.
That is very clever.
Though it doesn't last for long, it wilts quicker after I do that.
Doesn't it hurt it, though?
No.
All right.
I mean, the life is more in the stem itself and the roots. Think of it as if you're cutting your hair. Plus, I
Nice.
usually only take leaves that have already fallen off. Don't want to damage the plant.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. I always imagined it would be like pulling off an arm more than hair, but no, if it's like hair, then that makes a lot more sense.
Now, if you actually take the leaves from the stem and such, then it's probably a bit more hurtful to the plant. But if you take petals and such, it's usually not that bad, depending on the plant itself.
Okay. And you have like a big old collection in the book, then?
You could say that.
So, what got you into it? Like, what Why plants?
I say that's because of my mother.
She used to work with plants?
She had the same kind of fascination with them, and kind of brought me up with it.
That makes sense. I'm sorry if I'm prying into personal matters and really just
No,
interested.
it's okay.
You actually made the book IRL?
I am making the book IRL.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's kind of funny because I said that, and your voiceover in the video came through and answered my question.
Wait,
Like
are
timing.
you doing that? Are you doing that? That's like real stuff.
That's
or you're
real.
putting
That's-
in our no.
Look in
Let
the
me
city of
actually ask a
Gilgamesh
question.
thing.
No. I'm trying to get to a. Are you putting like real plants in there? Or are you putting in the made up plants?
Both.
Wow.
Yeah, so you better be good at your descriptions.
Oh, he is.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's going to be about 30 minutes before they get there. What anything anybody wants to do while you wait?
Show Gobs my notebook.
Will be very interested and distracted from anything else.
I'll take her through the notes I've taken of all the plans that I've collected.
Abraham's going to busy himself with studying the magic book that he has, the Book of All Magic. He's getting the idea that might want to see if there's some secrets to be divined from it directly. And so his interest is going to be more studious now.
I'm sorry, for what book?
Well, you said that the book that I rescued from the Ethereum Sanctum was Ethereum Sanctum was like a book of all magics that I use as my spell book.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to try to seek further internal power, possibly by studying the book for any internal mysteries that it may hold.
Okay.
Whether that pans out, he's just going to spend his time studying quite a bit of time. Because he's trying to prevent disasters in the future that has befallen him specifically
Gotcha.
in the past few months. So he's going to search for answers in magic. So a lot of the time that Abraham isn't really talking or doing anything, he's largely just studying his book.
Excellent. And let's see here. Needed one more thing. Where is he?
But yeah, Talah gets lost in plants.
I don't get lost in them.
Well,
I lose other things with them. There's a difference.
Well, true. Like awareness of your surroundings. That is how I've come to become your bodyguard, right?
I think so?
Yep.
I mean, the
That's
whole
how we
deal
met.
wasn't really completely clear to me when you first made that with my dad. So,
Yeah, well, my dad and your dad made it very clear to me.
really, was he that stern?
Yeah. Well, at first it was my dad's responsibility. Since they couldn't keep you from running into the woods, might as well have someone tag along.
Well, but fair.
And now here we are. Fun times.
Is Talah's dad really that strict?
Towards Talah? No.
Sometimes.
No.
I mean, he can be.
Well, yes, but only about a certain few things. The rest you are free to do what you want.
Mostly, yeah.
About that time, there's a slight knock on the door. And in walks... Where did I put his name? It should be right in front of me. Literally just saw it. I know it's on this page. I've got too many notes. I need to stop making up so many characters. Stop meeting new people, you jerks. Dr. Heinrich Burke walks in. He's also not alone. There are 3 women accompanying him. So
Are
let me
they-
set
Lucky guy.
let me set up a couple things here. So number 1, he is not dressed in his normal attire. He is wearing just a simple black suit. It's very understated, no embellishments, none of his normal, various mix match stuff. It's just a normal suit. It's just a well-tailored jacket, vest, trousers. He's got a white dress shirt on underneath it, a modest black tie. He's actually wearing nice polished leather shoes instead of his goofy mismatched colored shoes. And he is wearing the only thing on him that's of note is a very well-crafted mithril pocket watch. You can see from his pants pocket, you can see the chain sticking out to his belt loop. Additionally, the 3 women that are with him. One is a tall, gaunt half-elf woman. She has long silver hair and very, very, very dark black eyes. She's wearing a long, dark feathered cloak that the feathers always seem to be slightly in motion. So that's the one that's behind him to his right. The one that's directly behind him is an elderly human woman. Her face is definitely lined with age. She has bright amber-colored eyes, and again, she's wearing a robe adorned with raven feathers, and they're in intricate patterns. And they are also moving a little bit. The last one is a drow. Very, very dark black skin, silver eyes that have a faint luminosity to them. She is wearing just kind of a black pantsuit, so to speak. But there's the very thin silver embroidery along the cuffs and up the center line and around the neck that when you look, you can tell that they are all in the shape of ravens. Hello.
I clearly did not get the dress code memo.
Yes. I understand that you found my old ring.
Indeed. And I don't remember who it is that's carrying it.
I do. The DM does.
What she was saying, I know who's carrying
Wait,
it.
what's with the attitude change and the whole thing here? You're not even speaking like you normally do.
Have you ever been reading a book?
Yes, all the time.
Let me finish my statements. I swear to God, I'm going to mute you all.
Yeah.
And from one chapter to another, the tone changes dramatically.
Are you saying you're a book?
I'm saying my chapter's about to end, and a new one's about to begin.
Ah, so it's not just a phase.
Is it a climax?
It's definitely the payoff of a long story.
Well, either way, shouldn't matter too much.
Can I roll insight on him?
I was gonna say.
Sure.
Where is it? There it is.
Have you ever met somebody or run into somebody who was doing a really tough job, and then that job ended, and that just relief at the job being over? Not even so much pride in doing a good job or anything. It's just, all of that
Yeah.
work is finally over.
Yeah. Yes.
That's the vibe you're getting from this.
Catharsis.
It's not even full catharsis. It's just the release of all that tension.
A climax.
This finally exhaustion hits.
It's not
Yep.
even that. It's that relief of it being over.
Yeah, no. Sorry.
When you're
giving
having
you
a
hard
really
time.
bad day at work and it's like, oh God, I can go home finally.
Mm-hmm.
Except it's been many years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been
Okay,
going through
cool.
a hell. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, who has the ring?
I think I might be carrying it.
Is it in your
Sure.
inventory sheet?
No, Otho has it.
I thought
Yep.
Otho
Oh,
did.
better.
All
He's
right.
the one that ran up there and like prevented somebody from messing with horns.
Indeed.
Right, he did. That is correct.
I do indeed have the ring. And I pull it forth from my bag of holding.
And with it in your hand, you say, I really wish we could get some more for this.
And
Nah.
I believe the arrangement was for Soul Steel. Remind me how much again?
We have the number written down in the combined group notes.
We need surprisingly little soul steel, 45.
45 pounds.
Though,
Selena.
if we could get 50, that would be great.
Selena, will you see to it that this is done? And the drow steps up, and she just nods her head. She steps up into his line of sight and nods, and then steps back. Perception checks from everybody.
Okay.
Meh.
I'm rolling high today, guys.
Got
Please let
cataracts.
us keep up for the remainder of this session.
It's nothing about fake creatures, right?
It is nothing about fey creatures.
Good.
Oh, wait. Hang on a second.
I just noticed your name.
So
There we go.
Gobs, you're just like, man, she moves pretty stealthily. Talah and Roscoe would notice she made no sound. Pippin, you think, wow, like it wasn't just like there was no sound, it was like it obliterated the possibility of sound when she moved. You would be fairly confident if you were trying to track her on a dark night in the woods, you would never know where she was.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Who was it that stepped like that?
The drow.
The drow.
That is the drow. Her name is Selena Moore, the Shadowbound. I will put it in chat for you.
Don't get on her bad side.
No.
Was she a vampire? Is she an Assamite? Is this Quietus?
No, it's not Quietus.
It's Drizzt if he was a woman.
Dritz couldn't be as quiet as she is.
Dritz is
Only one
just a
thing
ranger.
quieter. There's only one thing quieter than Selena, and that's death itself.
I knew he was going to say it.
Yeah, well, stop ruining everything.
We love you, Sunscream.
I'm starting to understand how my parents felt when I was born, just ruining everything. Swear to God.
People don't even know how half of how that is.
Sorry,
just-
Nari.
Oh my
Sorry.
God. Jesus, man.
Hey, I go harder on myself than anybody else.
If you know, you know, I guess.
Yep.
Jesus.
The story of his mom making fun of him for
Yeah.
being at the wrong house.
Well, no, that one was hilarious. We're talking about other stuff. So,
Yep.
all right. So there you go.
Ouch.
I can't remember. Was there any gold involved in the deal?
Hang on a second. Question for the crowd. The
Yep.
soul scale technically needs to go to Draven?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to make a delivery after this.
Or we could just ask it to be delivered there, I guess.
Do we know where his shop is?
In the tower.
The Tippy Top Tower? The Tower of Gilgamesh?
I think if they go to the tower and say delivery for Draven,
Okay.
Dryden.
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 Thank you.
We're not playing League of fucking Legends.
right, that's where that name is from.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking of the Crow for some reason, but whatever.
Yeah.
Dryden from Burcoin.
No, you're right. I don't think it
Oh,
reads that
carry
way.
on, please.
So was there coin involved? I believe there was.
Othokent will be completely honest and say, I do not remember.
The only thing I have written in my notes, this is Nari speaking, is that I gave the Lich some plant dreads and a pink flower named Steve.
That flower is on his lapel, but the other threads are gone. I will tell you
Aww.
that much.
But that's the only thing I have in my notes about this, and that he serenaded me.
Much
Yep.
to Nate's dismay. Yeah, I don't have any notes on it.
I recall gold was involved, but I will admit I do not recall the amount. It's been a long few days.
A lot has happened.
Then let us negotiate. For there's one last piece of this that I need your assistance with.
Okay.
Who's talking? Is it the skeleton or the woman?
The skeleton.
Okay. Because his tone changed. He's not talking like normal, so I was like, is this somebody else?
Who it is?
Who it is? New voice. Who it is?
Who it is?
Hold on, sorry. I'm making some notes for myself.
Yeah, increase
Kill
the rating
all
for these
the
idiots.
players.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do that anytime I wanted to. That's the easy thing to do.
Rocks fall,
I
everybody
mean, like
dies.
the god of death, goddess of death is in front of us, so yeah.
Good luck getting the guns over the borders, motherfucker.
That's
Ah,
adorable.
shit.
Fine, the
Anyways.
dome falls, everyone dies.
All right, so he goes, this is specifically for Othokent.
Oh,
The last time we spoke, we communed with our patrons.
indeed.
I need you to understand why I need this ring.
All right.
My mistress wants us to use the last wish on this ring to return Failtor the Slain to the living.
Ooh.
Phil told the slain.
Who?
That's,
Religious
Phil?
history?
Yeah, you can do
do the
history
players
checks.
do the players know? Remember?
You guys can
If
do
I
history
recall
checks
correctly,
yourself.
it's the red dragon.
The red dragon that's Draco Lich in the service of the evil Lich dude.
Actually rolling well today. What the
Uh-huh.
heck?
That was
What's
his
wrong?
first lower roll today.
Yeah, so all of you rolled high enough to know that Failtor is the name of the undead dragon that's wrapped around the Great Mausoleum.
Actually,
Abraham barks a laugh and just chuckles to himself.
So
You
let
see,
me get this straight. You want to resurrect that thing to really
Yes.
piss off the undead guy?
yes.
I know my
You
opinion doesn't matter, but I'm all for this.
You see, Marbon
is a dick.
was my student. He was with.
Marbon. Okay.
He was my understudy whenever we breached the tombs in the Tomb Whisper Hills. He was there when we found the Horn of Orcus. And I don't remember the details very well. But I believe it wasn't really an accident that I fell. It was an accident that I impaled myself on the horn, and he actually unbuttons the white shirt and pulls his shirt open, and you see
Ooh.
a large, probably 4-inch hole in his chest where the Horn of Orcus pierced him.
It'd be wicked if it's still there.
The horn or the hole?
The horn.
No, the horn's not there. And I fell on it, and I was mindless in my undeath for 1,000 or so years before the Raven Queen gave me my will back. And ever since then, I've been searching for a way to destroy my understudy. I believe that resurrecting the dragon will then take his revenge upon Marbon. As my understanding of the situation, the only reason he killed Failtor in the first place is that Failtor did not know it was coming. In a heads-up fight, I don't see how Marbon really stands a chance.
I mean,
So,
I imagine that the other dragons were not too keen on the fact that one of their own was murdered in such a way and turned into a Draco Lich. So, maybe he has allies.
well, my understanding is that he was kind of an asshole.
This checks out.
But
Hmm.
isn't it a whole thing that undead can't be turned back alive?
A wish rewrites reality.
Oh, is that how that works?
Oh,
I'm not an expert at magic. Sorry.
And here's the thing. You're correct, especially with the type of magic that was used to turn Failtor into what he is. It is very, very potent. My understanding is that you have to be within a certain proximity for this to work. And
Right.
therein lies the problem of me going and using the ring. Marbon knows I'm in the city. He can feel me. If I were to go into his domain and begin to use the ring, he would put 2 and 2 together and likely unleash everything he has. And while he was my student, his destructive capabilities exceed mine.
Well, then I have a question. Do you know whether or not Gideon Lukdul is back in the city? Because he knows our faces.
We could go kill him.
Gideon is very likely at the mausoleum. He is the direct understudy of Marbon, so generally one or the other are always at the mausoleum.
We did kill him a bit ago on the road. We actually
Mhm.
stole his items. So that's why we're asking if you know whether he's back yet.
Yes. Didn't we also find something else of his?
We have his phylactery.
Exactly.
Yes,
May-
his student can kiss my ass.
May I see the phylactery?
Sure.
Please do. This is his soul. Here you go.
Don't do anything to it yet.
Sister Malus, will you see if he's in there or not? And the half-elf woman nods her head and she steps forward. Of course. Let us see if her soul hides within. And she begins speaking very quietly. And you can see like a distinct outline of her step out from her body and walk around the table, walk through the table as she begins to look and examine and whisper to the phylactery. And then that faint outline of her walks back and steps back into herself. Master, there is no soul contained within currently. He must have reconstructed himself.
Darn.
Wait,
Which
isn't the
means-
phylactery permanent? Like he always returns to his soul point?
Yes, but once the body has been regenerated, it leaves the phylactery.
Right, so if he dies again, he's going to go back in there.
Correct, but if the phylactery is destroyed, and then his body is destroyed before he has a chance to build another one, then the soul returns to the Raven Queen's hands. And I imagine that is not a journey that this one looks forward to. Flaunting her territory and her means so flagrantly. Not good.
Okay.
But wait, what I'm hearing here is that you're actually hiring us for another job.
That's what they said, yes.
And, like, sure, you can't walk in, but you have 3 very powerful women here who could, right?
They are not mine to command.
Well,
Well,
we
you
are
could
not yours
ask
to
them
command
nicely.
either.
There's a reason I'm asking Othokent to do this. And Othokent specifically.
Yeah, well, we're not going to let Otho go on his own, and last time we faced Gideon, it kind of didn't end well.
I died. He killed me.
You seem to have recovered from it quite splendidly, though.
Otho.
Yeah. But if it had been Otho, we would be in big trouble. I mean, I think I can do it. I just haven't done it before, so. But still, I'd prefer none of us dying and having to be resurrected.
I'm not very comfortable with this whole idea. Especially with how things have been going lately and last time we met him. So, is there anything you could do to make me feel more comfortable about that.
The elderly human woman looks at you and goes, "Well, are you saying that you would stand against the push and pull of fate? It is his
I-
fate to bring about the destruction of Marbon." And she says this pointed at Otho.
Oh my.
I won't stand against Otho's fate.
How
I
about
stand against
this?
nothing that I don't disagree with.
I can influence the tapestry. If I were to do so to increase your chances of survival of this encounter, would that persuade you?
It would definitely help.
She's got that very stern, like headmistress of a Catholic boarding school attitude. to her.
Something Talah would go against very much. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, Abe is so hard right now.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Oh,
No,
strict
you can-
mistress, punish me!
Abraham has no safe word.
I don't need a safe word. I'm down for all of it.
She stretches out her hands and her fingers because she stepped up to the edge of the table now, and she begins moving them, which Talah would probably recognize these movements as like somebody's playing with thread, doing a cat's cradle, right? And she's chanting something under her breath. Yes, this is the older human. And you can start to see forming from her hands, not in between the fingers, are threads, but out. The threads are coming out of her fingers to the outside edge, and all of them are tied to you, to all of you, as she begins weaving them in intricate patterns. And she stops. She goes, "There. Fate is aligned in your favor."
So I'm just.
And then she steps back behind. As a note, everyone for the next 24 hours has advantage on death saving throws.
Nice.
So I'm just going to make sure I understand this correctly. We need to get in, make sure we can resurrect the dear dragon. And along the way, we get to kill both Gideon and Marbon.
All I'm asking is you need to go to be within sight of the mausoleum. Probably several hundred yards would be sufficient. As you cast the wish, it is likely that that release of arcane magic will turn many eyes towards you. So you need to be prepared for that.
Right.
And then the hope is that upon his release, that Feltor will immediately enact his well-known desire for destruction upon Marbon himself.
He won't do anything to the rest of the city, right? Like we're not causing a fight within the city walls besides the one between city walls currently happening.
I mean, the dragons of old used to protect the city in weird ways. It's not. I don't think they would directly go and fuck everything up, especially when the guy had kind of turned him into a slave is around. As far as I know, dragons are very prideful creatures. So you wouldn't give anything for that.
Right.
Abraham, I will tell you everything you've seen happen is not beyond the range of what you would expect a very powerful cleric to be able to do. So while they may not be avatars, they are definitely high ups in that religious organization. Let's put it that way. How does that help?
Yes.
Or answer your question?
Yes. It does answer my question. I just wish I rolled better.
All right.
Yeah.
Look at the nines.
Actually, you could give me a history check if you wanted,
I mean, it's not as good, but clicking on the
just
wrong
to see
things.
if you'd
Oh, it is
heard.
as good.
Yeah. Let's see if you've heard of them. So again, it's something you've skirted with your other research. There are definitely groups within certain religious organizations. There is a specific group of high-ranking priestesses that serve under the Raven Queen herself, who take direct edicts from her, that are known as the Ebon Veil. Beyond that, you don't know details, but pushing. They are very good at making sure that the Raven Queen's will is made manifest, right? Whether that's helping people transition, nudging fate to put places where they're supposed to be at. That so because there's different aspects of the Raven Queen, right? There's the transition between life and death, right? So these group has been known to facilitate those mediations, right? She's also the Fate Weaver, right? So she's they're known to influence everything as small as like they've randomly shown up and given somebody money to open a shop, and that shop ended up developing a cure for a specific illness. Rumors to country shaping, influencing all kinds of different aspects of life. And they're also known for, like the Ebon Veil is like when the Raven Queen goes, hey, this person's doing, trying to circumvent the circle of life, they deal with it, right? So there's always one who's known as the Whisper of Passing. There's one known as the Fate Weaver, and there's one known as the Shadowbound. So you guys could probably figure out which ones are which, but what stands before you, Abraham, is very likely the Ebon Veil.
One was known as the Whisper, but the Shadowbound was the one that moved silently.
So there's one that's called the Whisper of Passing.
Whisper of Passing. Okay.
Whose the rumored talents are mediation of souls.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I get what you're saying now. I was like, Whisper,
Yeah.
she sounds like quiet. Like, why is the Shadowbound the quiet one?
Yeah, the Fate Weaver
I get it now.
and the Shadowbound. So
Gotcha.
who exactly they are is kind of a secret, but...
Okay. So they're just really powerful individuals, maybe not an actual avatar. Gotcha.
Correct.
Because with the dome, I think it would be hard for avatars to actually manifest on this realm.
Definitely.
Okay.
And you can imagine if somebody's moving against Marbon with what you... So as a player, I don't remember if it came up where Abraham would know that or not. As a player, he's been gathering all the souls of the dead, right? So the
this did come up.
It did come up, yeah. So you could see why these are involved. Everything about Marbon, all three of them, right? When you've got all three of the Ebon Veil wanting to deal with you, it's generally not good for
My
you.
My interests are aligned with theirs.
Yep.
Plus, hot dog mommy, I'm down for.
Let's be accurate there. It's hot dom great grandmammy.
How old was Abraham before this?
She's probably got 30 years on Abraham's real age.
Oh, guy. Oh, man. Oh, she's got experience.
She makes Mom from Futurama look young.
Oh, gosh. Call me Farnsworth.
Good Lord. All right, so all I'm asking is that you go and utilize this wish.
Well, isn't the answer obvious? Of course I'll do it. There's no question about it before, and there's no question about it now.
And of course, Othokent, I know that for you, the only reward you require is the thanks of our mutual patrons.
I need no thanks. I am going to free people to let them go to their proper afterlives.
And that's why they like you. Not because you don't deserve rewards or anything like that, but that you're acting for the benefit of others, not even for yourself, which is a rare thing these days. In all days, actually. But for the others, what do you ask?
Don't be shy now.
I don't really know.
Hmm.
How big stuff can we ask? How does this work? I'm not sure.
Can I get your number?
She does that, raises the nose, and looks down at you.
I'm older than I look. Magically de-aged by a dragon.
Hate to disappoint you, young man, but the call of the flesh has not been one I have answered to in many, many years.
Well, maybe that chapter of your life may be closing too, to an ultimate climax.
Talah covers her ears, going la 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 la.
Abraham. What would we call
Soundscream is like doing the double Picard face palm right now in real life.
my Abraham, what will we tell your dear dragon friend?
Whom? Hey,
Right, there's also the lady in the quantum superposition sanctuary.
She doesn't really exist. I've already described that.
I mean, she does and she doesn't.
Yes, and so this is fair game.
Besides, the woman in the superposition sanctuary seems to be more of a fun time thing.
Soundscreen probably took his headset off and just left the room. It's like, I'm gonna be back in a minute.
I'm gonna leave these weirdos to do their weird shit, and then I'll come back later. I mean, is there anything from the list we can still ask for? I'm trying to push it along, okay?
You know, instead of us deciding...
I'm trying to push it too.
Indeed.
Well, I did have two things I was considering, but I don't know if it's too much.
I don't know if Soundscream's at his computer right now.
Yeah.
I am.
Ask away, Nathaniel. Please cleanse this conversation of smut. Please.
So all three of them are going to step up.
Oh, all three at the same time. I'm down.
Oh.
Shut your mouth, or she will shut it for you. And they point to the drow. The first one, the half elf, unbuckles her cloak and pulls it off and lays it on the table. The older woman takes her earring off and lays it on the table. The dark elf steps up and pulls a dagger that you didn't even see she was carrying and stabs it into the table. You may choose one.
Huh?
The Cloak of the Soul's Passage, the Raven Queen's Tear, or the Blade of the Unseen Hour.
Abraham, magic, what this?
You want me to identify these? It's going to take 30 minutes for each one.
I was more thinking of like if he has some general knowledge about them.
I'll let
Arcana then,
since
maybe?
I will let you, if you spend one spell slot, I'll let you identify all three instantly.
Okay.
Hey.
Done. Spell slot reduced.
Give me a second.
I mean, they could just be nice and tell us.
Nah. That's boring.
Okay. Hang on a second. I got a message. Oh, they're big. Those are walls of text.
All
right.
right. I will wait with my.
He approaches them. He kind of he's moving beyond being ignored and rejected. So he just, yeah. And so he just kind of like walks up to the table, says the incantation, waves his hand over the three items. And I guess it would feel like almost like the items would want to be identified, so they all kind of reveal themselves to me.
As you're casting Identify, you will hear a subtle feminine voice whispering in your ear, telling you what they do.
Yeah,
Or
like
no-
they're, yeah, kind of what I was getting at. Like they're wanting to be identified. Or the information's being given to me in such a way. Yeah. He picks up the cloak, just, this Cloak of Soul's Passage allows you to shadow step between darkness and dim light. Well, you could do this anytime you wanted to. Bonus action. And once per day, you can use the cloak to shroud yourself in the ethereal veil. You gain a resistance as the veil protects you. Armored and necrotic damage will not harm you nearly so much. And the Raven Queen herself will guard you. If you are ever about to be slain, you will instead be reduced to the smallest mote of life.
Doc disappeared.
And he's
You'll
back.
be, for his benefit, you'll be reduced. When you're about to be slain, you'll be reduced to the smallest mote of life. He sets that down.
Well, that sounds
Fix-
perfect for you.
It picks up the Raven's Queen tier, the black gem that hangs from a delicate silver chain. Interesting. When a creature dies in your vicinity, their soul is momentarily sent to this gem, preventing any type of rebirth or returning as undead, unless I choose it to be released. Well, only in so much as the next 24 hours, though, where I could release it at will. Ooh, the recently dead can be brought back, given life again as long as they had not passed from this plane for minutes. Cast Revivify. You can only do that once between days, between restful periods. Vision of Fate. You could peer into fate itself. Do not know what that spell does. It casts Foresight. I would expand more upon that in later.
Advantage on everything for 1 minute.
You would gain advantageous decision making on everything you do for 1 minute. This blade, he picks it up, hefts it. Evenly balanced as all things should be.
I need you to know I hate you for that.
You can choose to forego a normal attack and make a regular attack as though you were striking a creature that existed beyond this plane of existence, bordering our existence. or even invisible creatures, as if they were visible to you. You could strike them with no detriment. And when you score one of those vicious strikes that strike at the critical components of a creature, they take necrotic damage. And if they are killed by this dagger, they cannot be resurrected. Well, unless somebody uses a ring like that. And the dagger will allow the wielder to hear the faint whispers of the souls the Raven Queen has claimed. And you can speak to them as long as you hold the dagger in your hands, asking 3 questions only. Are these gifts or loans? As he addresses the ladies again.
You can keep one.
Keep.
You can take and keep one if you accept this duty.
Abe really likes these ladies because of their no-nonsense business and the fact that they're actively going to shit on the Marbon. So he's going to hold off on trying to hit on them anymore. Well, Gobs, you have a cloak that allows you to shadow step already, but it's limited and not like this cloak, though.
No, but I have many different ways of doing that, to be honest. I can also just do it. So it's not as useful. Well, it's still don't get me wrong, it's still a great cloak.
Can I copy this into chat for everybody?
It's already there.
Or did he add it? He sent it to me as a direct message I've been reading from.
Yeah, as you read them, since you were reading it all out loud as you talked about them, I threw them in the.
I wanted to roleplay me sharing this information.
I know.
You did.
I just after you finished is when I put them in.
Oh, okay. At least you waited till I finished.
That's not what he said.
I wasn't meaning it in that way. Thank you, Nexus, for joining in on the horny brigade.
You guys
Yeah.
live in the horny brigade.
Oh, Milla's been horny at that drow ever since she saw she carried daggers.
Hmm. So you get the drow, I get the grandma.
I don't think that's how that works.
And then Otho gets the elf.
What?
There you go. Yeah. Cloaca.
What?
And
Talah gets the skeleton.
I mean, he did serenade me.
She's gonna get
And
boned.
Nate is alone.
No, he can join in on the fun.
And Nate can have the dragon once it's done.
Yeah.
Soundscream wonders why he puts up with us.
Because we're
Doesn't
fun
he
and
always?
That dagger is a +0 dagger, right?
What is it? Yeah. That's it's good effects, but what is it? Is it attack wise?
It would be a +2.
Okay. That's decent.
Yeah.
Yee.
I'll say out of those, I think the one I'd probably recommend us taking would be the tier. Being able to bring people back to life is useful.
Preventing resurrection would be useful. Seeing how we're facing undead.
Hey, and the whole look into the future, that is a very powerful ability.
What we do is we give that to Nate so his rolls don't suck so much.
It's not like he already has an item where he can substitute and change out rolls.
Watches Nate then goes, oh, I can't possibly use this. It's the Raven Queen, so I'll keep it in my pocket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, I can't use this as my mom's. I can't use this cube. It's too valuable to use. Oh no, my friends are dying all around me.
Whatever shall we do? Have a dance party.
So are you accepting the job?
Oh, I accepted as soon as you said that you're going to screw over Marbon and Gideon.
I'd like
Indeed.
to second that motion.
I'm all about spite and vengeance.
Besides,
Believe
I'm
me,
all about
I know.
the Raven Queen aesthetic. It's a cool aesthetic, and I want to see more people wearing it.
those items are cool and all, but I was trying to ask something.
Go ahead. Don't let us cut you off, Nexus. Go.
I mean, I don't know if it's possible, but I have two things I'm interested in, and these items are not it. One thing is, apparently I am being chased by the Heart of Winter, and I would like to know about his armies, where they are, what they're doing, if they're closing in. Or I would like some kind of protection for Godwood. Talah and my families live there.
I will tell you this. His armies move, and your home already has protection. Why else do you think fate has drugged you all the way across this world to prepare you to be that protection? It's up to you if you follow the thread to return there in time before that weave is broken. I believe you've already been told as much. Perhaps you should listen better. She looks at you, Talah, and goes, still needs work. You should train him better.
What?
Under my discipline, he wouldn't have such foolish questions.
Oh my.
You can't just say things like that.
You hear that? You have to whip him more.
This conversation is becoming quite awkward.
Awkward? You mean blunt and appropriate for the conversational purposes.
I'm
Come
not
on.
training him.
Well, that's your problem right there.
My point.
I agree with her.
Of course you do.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Time's wasting. I can only bend the threads of fate for so long.
Indeed.
Let's go.
And you'll see Dr. Burke goes, all right, calm down just a little bit. There's no need to be so stern with them. They're friends.
Oh, they can be stern with me, all right. But he says that quietly.
He still hears you. Abraham, you're not helping.
Sorry, it had an effect on me.
Aledra. We've given them the opportunity to decide which threads they follow. I will not force them. And she just inclines her head to him and steps back. So all three of them have all stepped back. Though Selena is glaring at her dagger, she doesn't want you guys to take it. That's her dagger.
I know you've already offered these things, and Pip has already asked for some things that apparently he is supposed to do. But I was wondering if I could possibly ask for a scrying scroll.
Sorry, we don't exactly carry those with us.
Of course. Forget I asked.
What did you want to look in on? And this is Dr. Burke saying so.
Oh, isn't he a wizard?
He says something.
He's a something.
He's a magic man with a magic plan.
Oh, I can't even cast scrying.
I wanted to look in on my mother. I haven't seen her in years, and well, some bits and pieces have been pointing in her direction in the city, and I really want to find her.
the older woman leans down and whispers something in his ear. And his expression changes. Just a moment. Sorry, I've got to pull old notes for this because I want to make sure I get it right.
Sorry for being a pain in your A.
North side of the city, there is a hospital, but not for physical trauma. There's an older man there by the name of Bandura. Go see him, tell him I sent you, and tell him your full name. And he will assist you in finding what you're missing.
There may be like 6 names.
Yeah, can you please send me the names?
No, it's like if your full name, like, I am Talah, Elendriel, the Leandra, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I'm going to make middle names for Talah. Let's go.
Just go all out on those middle names, yeah.
I need your full name. Tala something something. No, I said your full name. All right.
So my players should recognize that name, even if your character
Oh,
does
yeah.
not.
He's the kind old dragon guy. Brass,
Okay.
I want to say.
I mean, he's in the
Yes.
Brass District, so...
So, we've given you answers to questions. We've given you items. Is there any... Are we in agreement?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, items or no items, I would have done it anyway.
I do agree. I just want to see the smarmy face of that lich get torn off. But yeah, getting paid is really good. I need money to live.
So, you guys pick the thing you think will help us the most, and I'll prepare for this.
Question, out of character, for Nexus. I want the dagger as a pair for this sword, but you use a bow. Would you be able to use the dagger effectively?
No.
Yeah, shoot the dagger with the bow.
Tie it to a stick and shoot it.
I am good with daggers. I am not bad with swords. I don't know what you're getting at.
He's getting at the fact that you've never, ever hit somebody with the sword.
I have hit someone with a sword, my short sword, a couple of times. But when I've been in melee, I've typically used my whip.
Right. Either way, it's you guys just need to decide which one you're taking.
And I'm saving Lenazul for a very specific reason.
Not like she runs out of ammo.
No, but he has a purpose, and that is not a random murder.
All right. So, which item are you guys taking?
You guys choose something. I honestly feel like the cloak would be great for Abram.
Choose.
John, you okay there?
I was gonna ask.
Return the tablet.
I'm just waiting for you guys to choose something.
I'd say the tier is probably going to end up being the most useful in general.
Well, there's the amulet that I already have. But they have to succeed on a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw. And for like the next time actually there's no time period listed here. Its soul gets bound to the newly dead creature as long as it's within 30 feet of him upon time of death.
Oh, I'm more looking at the free Revivify. That's a very useful tool.
Well, the cloak also gives +2 AC, resistance to necrotic damage, and prevents lethal damage from actually meaning anything for at least one hit. Though in multi-attacks, it may actually slaughter me still.
The bonus AC is only for 1 minute once per day. But yeah, it is good. I will agree.
And being as a bonus action to be able to teleport might be useful.
It could definitely get you out of sticky situations.
Soul binding. You only hold them for 24 hours, while this gem that I have holds them permanently. Revivify? Yeah, sure. Foresight? I mean, Revivify has to be, cast by somebody that's not Abraham, so who would be holding the tier anyways? Who would want all the extra features?
Anybody can use the Revivify slot from the
dead person can use a Revivify slot?
Well, not the dead person. We weren't saying you...
Well, Abe's been the one that's been going down the most, that's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm suggesting the cloak.
They're all concerned about the livelihood of Abe. I'm trying to address that.
Fucking hell, man. Really?
Go into your corner.
Yeah, no shit.
Sorry.
Not after the first half of this session.
I mean, after the last couple of sessions, I'm not surprised.
No, I'm not against Nate getting the dagger, but if he's going to switch up to dual wielding sword versus the dagger against people.
No. Like I'm not pressing for the dagger at all. It is that one. It's that one scene I'm talking about.
Oh, just for this final. Your computer crashed. That's why it dropped. Okay.
Yep.
Is it coming back up or is it dead?
I'm trying to get it back up.
Good luck to you, dude. I know computer problems suck.
So, did you catch what I said?
Yeah, it's for that final scene against the Heart of Winter, so you could
that's
uber kill it. Yeah.
Like that's why I'm not really making a claim on it, and I keep suggesting the cloak because it's actually useful for
well, having
alive.
Having the tier would allow at least 2 different people to have Revivify if Otho didn't get the tier.
I'm a ranger. I get Revivify.
You do? Okay, that'd be 3 people that get Revivify.
I have Revivify.
I will ask one thing though.
4 people! The whole party can Revivify!
But just a thing with the cloak. Does it need mats to cast Revivify?
No, it doesn't. It's just for long rest.
Yeah, because that's 300 gold worth of mats we have to use to cast Revivify.
That's true.
I have a 300 gold piece diamond. I bought it last time we were in the city.
Yeah, I don't have one.
So there's only 1 Revivify in the party unless we get that gem.
We are in the big city where we can get these diamonds.
How much money do I have?
It will be most of my gold I spend on having it.
I can get 2 of these gems. With the gold that I have.
2.
But we shouldn't also be spending all our mats to buying reviving materials because hopefully we won't die 40 times until we reach Gilgamesh again.
And that's why I'm suggesting the cloak, because not only can Abrams get out of combat with it very easily, he can
in dim light, darkness, it could be like a...
So, real quick, I'm putting a timer on this so we can move
Okay,
on.
sure. No,
2
sure,
minutes.
sure. That's
You
fair.
got 2 minutes. Figure it out.
Jesus.
Well, it's fair. We've been spending like 20 minutes on this.
Yeah, because it's a big decision. We get one, and we want to pick the one we think is most useful.
Yeah, but the session. No, I get why he's doing it. Whether it's fair or not, it's up to debate.
Anyways, choose something.
Who's choosing? Who's the chooser here? Yeah, let's make
Not
one person
me.
the chooser.
Not it.
Rollies.
Doc.
Roll a d20.
Doc.
Everybody roll a d20.
Oh God.
Okay.
Straight d20 roll.
Talah has to choose because I rolled a 1. It's not Abraham at all.
Nice.
Unless it's
No
okay.
choices.
I actually rolled a 20 for once, and it's on this.
No, it's so funny because you're like, not me.
Hold on. Everybody quiet.
Oh my
Talah?
God. Yeah.
30 seconds. Pick.
What? Cloak.
All right. Cloak.
Okay,
has been
cloak it is.
selected. All right. So you guys can debate on who wears it later. I don't care.
Abraham, put it on now.
Abraham, you have the feathery cool cloak.
Okay, let me write it down.
It does
real quick.
require-
It matches
it
you as
does-
well,
does.
Roscoe.
It does
Leave the
require
rest.
attunement.
Which is a short rest, right?
Mm-hmm. Suddenly, I will tell you, like, as you guys have finally made your decision,
Whose was that, by the way, of the 3?
it's the first one, the half elf.
Oh, so the quiet-spoken whisperer girl?
Yeah.
It seems the group has decided that, based upon previous experiences, it should be mine to hold. I will return it to you when we are finished, for I consider this alone. Please come find me.
It was meant to be yours. The drow at that moment snatches her dagger real quick and begins glaring to the due south. Yes, go. And she immediately dashes out the door and begins running for the elevator.
Is she okay?
It seems our presence has been noticed.
All right, well, let's get going. We have dragons to ride and leeches to kill.
I mean, if
Dude.
she's about to get in a fight, we could use that as distraction to get into the ward right now.
Correct?
Okay.
Yes. If you don't mind, can I have that? And she points. This is the whisper. Whisper is she's pointing to the
Phylactery?
phylactery. Thank you.
What are you gonna do with it, though?
My sister is on her way to deal with him.
Oh, I was really hoping to see his face when it happens. You don't suppose you could get her to take a picture?
I'll ask.
World Star!
She did.
That's all we need. Let's get going. I give her the phylactery.
Make sure it hurts.
Oh, the moment when he returns home and I pluck his soul from its plaster and stare into its lifeless, endless horror before handing him to the maiden, that is the most pain he could possibly experience.
Wow.
Good.
I get why you were usually silent.
I don't mind someone who
That
wants
wasn't
to
the
hurt.
silent one. The silent one
Okay.
already left. Just to be clear.
I'll
There's the
mind
silent one, the quiet one, and the Dami Mommy.
Tommy, mommy, yes.
I mean, I don't mind someone being cruel to bad people. Makes the world a better place. Anyways,
There's no real reason to be cruel.
When they deserve it.
he killed Abraham for us asking questions. He deserves the cruelty.
And he's assisted his master upon capturing and manipulation and destruction of hundreds of thousands of souls.
I was about to say, how many afterlives do you think he's broken? Hell exists for a reason, and he's trying to avoid going there.
Oh, and he doesn't get the generosity of the non-existence of hell.
No, it's not like it's a pleasant place to be, but still.
My matron has plans for these two.
He might have damned people for the rest of their unlife. Cruelty is the least he deserves. If you choose to be a bad person just because, then, well, you choose a bad afterlife. I am a very nice and loving doctor, and I try my best to see the best in people, but if you just choose to be cruel out of spite for all things living, then my patience has worn quite thin with those people.
Is that why you were angry with me over... Never mind.
To say a nice way, you can go to... I was about to say hell, but anyways.
So they all begin to Dr. Burke stands up and goes, well, we've got preparations to make.
Sure.
Also, we as we talked briefly about, we do expect some monetary payment for the first job. We don't care about amount just so we can live.
We can discuss that afterwards.
Yeah,
Let's
this is more
go.
pressing. Let's go.
Understandable. Well, let us get out of your way. And the remaining three step out.
Yes. While we are leaving, I am going to cast Death Ward on myself.
As well,
Remember,
step into the same
everybody
elevator.
already has advantage on death saves.
Yeah, but Death Ward makes so that when I go to 0 for the first time, I stay at 1 hit point.
Awesome.
It's like the cloak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Just in case.
Fantastic.
I can
For 24 hours, right?
8
24
hours.
8 hours. Okay.
Oh, minus
Or,
8
I'm
hours.
sorry. Yeah. Hers is 24.
But mine's not a concentration spell, so
Yep, neither's hers.
nice.
Oh, wait. Hers? Like Nari does it too?
No.
No, the 24 hours of advantage on death saves.
Oh, yeah. That's what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go kill some shit.
So it's Otho who gets to say the words, yes?
Well, I'm the one who makes the wish.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yes. It's gonna be great.
I'm so looking forward to this.
All right. So, where are you guys going?
The Death Ward, of course.
Taking a short rest to kind of attune to this cloak.
Probably a good idea, yeah.
You guys
All right.
spend so much time debating over what to get for me. I might as well attune to it. So let's go get coffee.
So yeah, you guys head towards the necromancy ward, as it's known, which is really the religious ward. It's been so dominated by Marbon and his death cult. That's why it's called the necromancy ward. So despite the fact that there are so many other religious temples there, but yeah, you guys get there. There would be like a coffee shop or a small bakery and stuff like that, kind of near the bridge across to the necromancy ward.
Beautiful.
Anything else you guys would like to do as you sit there and wait and prepare to cross the bridge?
So, should we talk about what we want the others to do in case we don't make it through this?
Wait, why?
Just in case.
I'd rather not talk about anyone
I mean,
being dead.
I've heard that that's just the planting death flags. What that even means.
Oh, that's the thing from video games, but and movies, but
Gobs, it's going to be very simple. Those who plan for their own failures already failed. What kind of idiot would do that? We're not going to fail, we're not going to die.
isn't that what we did by getting that cloak for Abraham?
Oh, we got the cloak, so Abraham looks cool.
Look after Lily.
I have nothing I leave behind except the clientele that I've already divvied out to other doctors.
Just look
Besides-
after her.
Besides, just Google lizard folk culture and you'll know exactly what to do with me.
Cook you into a stew.
That sounds nice.
Well,
Other
we'll sun roast you on a spit. Wouldn't that be appropriate?
I'll leave the details to you.
Now
But-
that you're saying that, I do think you would make an excellent paraglider.
Sure, go ahead. Have fun with me? Question mark. Anyways, we're not going to ponder all that. It's going to
Guard-
be fine. We're
Guard this
us.
book with your life. Yeah.
Abraham, stop it. We're us. We're not going to fail. We haven't failed so far. We're not going to fail.
I've died once and nearly died 2 times over again.
And you're still alive. Even
Hmm.
death can't keep you.
I've
You're
done it
Abraham
too.
Grissom, disgruntled, slightly old man with a penchant for the arcane. Kill him and he comes back and kills you. You're a revenant.
Well, more like kill him and he comes back and completely dissolves your religion, ruins your god's whole plan for this place, and then kills you.
See, imagine the reputation you'll have, Abraham. Imagine with the ladies.
If only that old lady gave me her number, this day would be perfect.
Indeed. Like I said, sometimes we dip our heads too much in the negatives. I don't feel like it's helping us. We're us, we have each other. I'll keep you all standing and we'll fight beside each other.
You certainly found yourself a drive, huh, Othokent?
I've always had a drive.
Yeah, but you seem way more energetic than normal.
I mean, imagine all the good we're doing right now. All the people that are trapped by that bastard or going to be trapped by him in the future. They're going to be free. They're going to go to their afterlives. They're going to enjoy eternal bliss.
Does sound
Eh,
good. Let's not
every-
join them.
So, just to be clear, if we end up fighting him or any of his lackeys, I should not do the thing, right? They should not have that done to them.
No. I think something's worse is waiting for them, believe it or not.
All right, just thought I'd ask before, just doing it.
Of course.
Although the
So-
other part of me do get lonely out there.
What's up,
So
Talah?
am I the only one being scared about this?
Not at
Why are
all.
you, why are you
Oh, no.
scared?
No, I am terrified beyond belief for what might happen in the future. But the knowledge that it needs to be done, and we are the only ones to do it, fortifies my will.
It's okay to be scared, Talah. We're not going into an easy peasy situation where all outcomes are perfect. But we shouldn't doubt ourselves and our own skills.
Bravery and courage only comes from being scared in the first place.
Right.
For if we weren't scared, then it's just action without meaning.
I mean, they even pulled at those threads for us.
Yes, it's nice to see somebody pulling some strings for our fate. Be
I'm going to-
positive for once.
I'm going to tell you this, Talah. We are all going to make it out of this. I will make sure of that. Come hell or high water or the god of death himself. Nothing will stop us from doing this. I will not have it.
Okay.
I know it's kind of hard for me to say to just believe in Lathander like I do. But you can believe in me.
It's gonna be great. We can't die yet. We have so much to do yet.
So you've had your short rest. Take everything that you would based off the short rest, including the attunement.
Mhm.
Abraham, that doesn't put you over the attunement limit, does it?
I have attuned to the staff, which gives me plus, 3 to attack? Or plus 2 to attack spells. I have attuned to the cloak. So I believe on a short rest you can just shift up your attunements.
Yeah.
Okay. So my
Maybe you
attunement
can only be
plan.
attuned to 3 things.
Yes, because you've stuck to the base D&D 5 rules. Hi, princess. Shut up. I will feed you in a moment.
I heard her.
No.
To be clear to anybody watching, he's talking to a cat, not a child.
Yes, my cat's name is actually April. To match my other 2 rescued cats. She's a stray. I picked her up off of a parking lot.
I remember that.
And my other 2 cats are from a shelter, and the shelter named them Donatello and Michelangelo. Those 2 boys are the sweetest boys ever. Princess was supposed to be named April. Because of her behavior, she's Princess. Because she's a brat. So, stream, that is why she's called Princess. I bring this up because this morning I was in the bathroom doing my thing. She says, "You're taking too long. I need you to clean my litter boxes," and pissed on the floor under the sink. Because I was taking too long.
Hurry up.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways, moving on.
Moving on. So I was going to, the cloak, obviously, the staff of the Grave King, which gives me the plus 2 to spell attacks. It's my best spell attack bonus item, so I'm going to use that. And there's 2 choices here. Group vote. Ring of Undying Servitude. I can command an undead to obey me for 1 hour if they succeed a 17 wisdom saving throw. And that doesn't seem to have a limitation to it, so it could be Marbon, maybe not. But there's also the Amulet of Death's Embrace, where they succeed on a 17 wisdom saving throw. When they die, they are bound to the gem.
Nice.
So which one? Because that's 3. There's a cloak, there's the staff, then amulet or ring.
By the way, who actually has the Staff of Healing?
I don't think anyone ever attuned to that.
Might be a time for somebody to attune to it.
I mean,
If somebody's got a free attunement slot, do it.
we are only 2 people that can attune to it, because Cleric, Druid, and Bard, I believe.
Well, how many does Nari have?
Let's see.
I don't have any bard levels, sadly. Otherwise, I would.
Since Marbon and Gideon are pretty much guaranteed to go to the Raven Queen, as per what the 3 said, I'm thinking about going with the amulet to bind to, the ring to command undead, because if they have undead descend against us, we could just turn them right back around and use them as fodder.
I have 1.
Sure.
I have 1 thing attuned.
Yeah, same. I have the sword.
I
have a certain necklace that was given to me.
I have 2 things. I have the Ring of Dark Resilience and the Gauntlets of Ogre Power.
I have a Sentinel Shield, which didn't require attunement. At least that's what I wrote down. And I have the Shadow Cloak, which did require attunement.
Even though I would probably be the one that's the most effective with the staff in my hands, it's nice having someone else who can bring people back at a range.
Unfortunate that I can't use the staff, but whatever.
I'm kind of pointing to Talah with that one.
Talah, take the staff.
Talah has the staff. Move on. Thanks for play the game.
Wasn't this a good thing to give that to me before we waited here?
No,
I will say it happened while you guys were doing the short rest.
Actually,
Was the staff feeling?
I thought this was a short rest, like recap.
I do have a quick question since we're sitting down anyway. The Great Axe of Giant Slaying, would the arm be able to absorb that one?
Oh boy. Are you turning into Gale?
Who the fuck is Gale?
Oldest Gabe.
Yep.
Oh, right, that guy. No, but that's how the arm has functioned with magic weapons so far. It absorbs them and takes on their properties.
nah, he's turning into Alex Mercer.
That's Alex Mercer.
That has been the character since I started it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, just getting more.
So you get giant slaying.
And +1.
I'm back now.
Welcome
Welcome
back.
back.
Did you guys decide what you're doing yet?
No.
No.
We're gonna keep wasting time, and we're not gonna play your game. Yeah.
Yeah.
So part of this short rest started while we were talking to these guys, right? So we have wasted less time.
Yes.
Yay. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
All right.
1, 2, 3, shit nuts.
Shit.
Shit nuts!
Get nuts!
All right. So, Othokent, I assume since you are the one who's going to be casting the wish, you will be leading the group. Correct?
Indeed.
All right. So, kind of ping on the map for me and tell me where you plan on going to set up to cast the wish from the ring. The closer you are, I will tell you this, mechanically, the closer you are, the quicker it will take effect. Which means the
Sprint.
less amount of time between starting to cast it to when it's completed for anything that could be waiting to react.
But also, the more things are able to react, I imagine, as we're closer to them. So if we find a tower across the city and look through a binocular...
That seems like the coward's way of doing it.
Yeah,
Well, it is logarithmic. So if you're twice as far away, it'll take 10 times as long for it to go. If you're 15 times far away, it'll take like a year. So they'll have plenty of time to get to you to stop it.
I mean, we need to be inside the ward itself at the very least. Though
I agree.
how close we get to the mausoleum, that's a great question.
Can you ping which... it's the giant one, the big black one.
It's
Just
the
look at
big
my.
one that somebody has labeled death.
Which is
Look at
accurate.
my just look at my suggestion in Discord.
Oh.
And just to remind everybody, because I'm not sure if we've covered it this campaign, the mausoleum, the Great Mausoleum, is where all the different temples for the gods are. But it's gigantic, and curled around the upper dome is Failtor the Slain. One of the largest dragons you've ever seen. He hasn't moved in recent memory, but he is curled around the outer dome, apparently in slumber. So everybody knows who he is, because you can't miss him.
So when we've casted, do we need to stay where we are, or are we able to move?
Sprint and run.
You don't know?
How about here? Right on the other side of the lake. Means that if
I was
they want
thinking here, at least there.
The reason I don't want that is that then we'll easily get surrounded. By the other side of the lake, they'll have to go at us from 1 or 2 angles.
We easily have backup from Feltor.
How populated is this, and how easily can we hide?
Unless their first command is for him to breathe at us before he is resurrected.
I don't think they're going to be able to do anything with him while he's being resurrected.
I think he's going to be rebuilt.
That could be.
Though with him being that big, it's probably going to take a while, which means...
Yeah, it is a fairly busy ward. There will be lots of people coming and going, as you know, like I said, literally all of the gods have their temples there.
So the understanding is that they're going to know we're in there because we have the ring?
More because of the a huge amount of arcane energy released upon the wish. They'll be like,
Okay, so we
"Wait,
could
who's
sneak
resurrecting
in. We could.
that guy?"
So my point is, we could sneak in
Oh yes, I imagine so.
and get super close.
I mean, personally, I'd say somewhere along the lines of the crossing.
It's more than 8 feet.
Yeah, I know. I'm marking so people can see.
The reason why I asked is simply because pass without a trace. If that would
Greater
work and
invisibility on the ring carrier. I can cast greater invisibility on the ring carrier and then go in there and cast it.
And then pass without a trace would be great for all of us.
And so they could sprint up there within 1 minute, cast the spell, the wish, and then get the F out of there. They won't be seen approaching it. Yeah?
Yeah.
What if
Yeah.
they have sea invisibility?
That's a problem for...
We can't take all the ifs, ands, or buts into consideration. We'll have to.
Yeah, we
I
can't
mean-
take all the butts.
I mean, we can make him invisible and use the pass without a trace that
We
Pip
didn't say
has.
We didn't say
That's
we
what
did
we
not
do.
do both. Yeah, we didn't say not do both.
We are doing both.
We are doing both.
Both is good.
We're doing both.
Both is good. So yeah, like I say, around the crossing right here is where I think we should go.
A selfish request, though. Do you mind if I set up a camera to point at the dragon when we do this?
I don't care.
I imagine that video is going to be worth a lot to news places.
Sure.
Othokent, question. The ring, where are you currently keeping it as you guys start to head in this way? Are you wearing it? Is it in a pocket? Is it in a pocket dimension? Where do you actually have it?
Until he actually gets close to where he wants to stand, he's going to keep it in the bag of holding.
Okay. That's what I thought. Cool. All right. So what are you doing? So you guys are basically about to start walking across the bridge. What are you doing beforehand?
How long does pass without a trace last?
Hour? Isn't it an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
1
an
hour.
hour.
Can we make it over there in an hour?
Yes, you would be able to make it to that point well within an hour.
Great. Then that's what we do.
What's the distance for 1 minute?
So 30 feet every 6 seconds, so 300 feet per minute.
Keep in mind that if they're invisible, they'll likely be dashing every turn. So 60
Six-
feet.
So 600 feet per minute.
My speed is 35.
So
Yeah.
700 feet per minute.
But isn't
Mine's
it Otho
30.
who has to do it? Like,
I
do
So
the
actually-
wish.
300, so 600 feet per minute. I swear to God, you guys are driving me nuts today.
Well, I'm sorry.
I've had to do so much math today. It's a Saturday. I'm not supposed to have to do math.
Anyways. Yes.
If only I
Okay,
also
so-
had
so-
pass without a trace ready, then we could double it.
So you're casting Pass Without a Trace. Anything else?
I don't have any long-term buff spells I can cast. I've already cast Death Ward on myself.
Give me a moment. I have one thing I do want to do. Let
You
me
know
see.
what?
It takes me 1 minute to do this.
On Otho.
I don't think it's gonna help.
Is it not?
My AC without any armor on is 17.
Oh, well, then I don't do it.
I do appreciate the gesture, though. Don't mistake that.
But you could do it on yourself.
Would you mind if I took 1 minute to cast Augury?
Yeah, you know what? I'll cast it on
I mean, it can be cast on the way while we are passing without a trace.
I am
it-
bark skinning myself.
Augury requires me to spend a minute focusing to cast. I can't cast it while walking.
Then I shall carry the Gobx so she can cast it while being moved.
So what Augury does is that it lets me know if a decision is going to be objectively good or bad. I wanted to ask about the position we're planning on taking.
Sure, we
Do
can
it.
spare a minute.
So
I could say that since you're not doing attunement, you could. I would let you have done that during the coffee shop stop.
Coffee shop, stop.
sorry, what did you say?
I said since you weren't doing any attunement changes, I would say that you cast that during your coffee stop.
Okay, but I do need to do it closer because it only accounts for actions taken within the next 30 minutes.
Okay, right before you leave the coffee shop then.
Then yes.
I'm trying to make it easier on you. Stop being difficult. But yeah, so exactly how are you phrasing the question for augury?
We will be resurrecting the big undead dragon on top of the mausoleum. We are planning on our positioning being that exact corner. That one there. Will we be able to fight off the resistance that comes our way?
How does that work if there's a statement in there that's not applicable?
What do you mean?
I'll say it will give you a yes.
All right. So good result.
A good result. You have a good result.
Okay. So it looks like the void agrees with our plan.
Good. Let's get into position.
Yep.
Let's get down to business.
To
Do you
defeat.
want to make a snowman?
What? That's
How far I'll go.
all right. DCMA. There we go, fellas. We've hit the trifecta. It's all good.
Copyright
so-
deadlock.
So between pass without a trace, let's go ahead and let's get stealth checks from everybody who's trying to stealth into the corner.
Plus
Be
10.
Suspicious. Don't be
27. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
35.
Give me a moment.
Jesus Christ, Nexus.
Nathaniel just becomes one with the air, just
I did okay, right?
My armor.
Just
don't-
like the basic okayness. I just like
Yes.
Yeah.
default stealthy.
but with plus 10 you are great.
It's not your fault your knee pops whenever you walk.
All right. So yeah, you guys are able to, between blending in, slipping through the crowd, and taking a fairly stealthy direction. You guys are able to get there well within the time of pass without a trace. And as far as you can tell, no one has noticed your approach to the corner. So again, as you're standing from where you're at, you're probably 600 or 700 feet away from the main pillars of the mausoleum. You can very clearly see Feltor wrapped around the column. His head lays right above the door. So very, very, very obviously he's there.
Nice. Othokent's going to look over at Abraham and say, "Are you ready?"
Aye.
Perfect. At that point, Othokent's going to grab the ring and put it on his finger.
And I cast greater invisibility upon Othokent so he can get closer. As he feels the need to, in order to cast a spell, in order to avoid suspicion or investigation.
Perception checks as you pull out the ring.
Sure.
You whip it out, and everybody sees it.
Oh. Oh my.
So, Abraham, you're somewhat distracted looking at the people all around, looking for somebody
I'm
to
casting
respond.
spells. I'm
Yeah,
casting spells
you-
anyways.
Yeah, you don't notice this.
Gob's saying on the
Gobs?
camera.
Gobs, you notice, especially because you are kind of positioning the camera and everything. Talah and Nate notice this. As soon as the ring comes out of the bag, Failtorse begins to move. The head moves and turns.
Oh boy.
Othokent, as you pull out the ring and start to put it on, you look up at Feltor. He is staring directly at you as he
Cast a
begins
spell.
to unfurl and begins to stand up. and he actually is starting to hunch, and he leaps and lands down on the ground, kills 3 or 4 people as he does.
Oh boy!
He's closer! It's going to be more effective! Yay! And he is beginning to... he's obviously stretching out his wings, and he is beginning... This is... To put this in perspective of how gigantic he is...
It's like the Chrysler building doing it.
Well, Zingyai, right? Biggest dragon you've ever seen? Maybe would come up to his shoulder.
Huh?
So, if for my Uber nerds, he is a greater worm.
Great. So Othokent
He's
is
a-
going to quickly say, scatter, and then he's gonna say, I wish to revive Philtor the slain.
As you say those words, a bright red gleam begins to shine from the gem on the ring as it shatters, and the magic begins to enact. Philtor stops in his steps and crumples. He looks like he's trying to roar and scream, but nothing comes out because he has no vocal cords. He begins to bellow his necromantic breath weapon as you see a swath of crowd just get eviscerated by it. That necromantic aura and cloud begins to billow up around him, and then you start to hear a sputtering sound as suddenly the necromantic flame and gas turns to pure white-hot flame. If you've ever seen Shin Godzilla, it's like that, right? Where he was breathing out the smoke and then suddenly it ignited. That starts to happen as everything billows into flame and smoke all around him. People are screaming and running in every direction.
Well,
And then in the midst of the chaos, out of the smoke, a person is walking towards you.
Are we supposed to run too now?
It's
That's
so
the smoke.
close that we may not need to.
I'm going to try and gauge this person's intentions.
Can I too do that?
Yeah, you guys can give me insights.
Your
My roll's on
rolls-
fire
Wow.
when I need them. 19.
So, the person walking out of the smoke
Is the dragon?
is dressed very strangely. A black leather biker jacket with spiked pauldrons, spiked bracelets, a muscle t-shirt underneath, and chains all over him. He kind of looks like a half-elf with shock bright reddish orange hair.
Ghost Rider.
He's cool as shit.
That's who you see.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's hot.
He's not hot, he's cool.
Milla said what she said.
He stands there in front of you. He picks something out of his teeth and flicks it on the ground. You get the so for everybody else, you get the impression of indifference, not outward aggression or anything like that. Othokent, you can tell this is an arrogant bastard, and things are happening, and he doesn't understand what's happening, and he's not happy about it.
So, do you want the long explanation or the short one?
I want to know why. Why did you bring me back?
Because Morban the Corpse Singer's a bastard and I want him dead.
So, this is about the runt.
Yes.
Indeed. And I also can only assume you didn't enjoy being his porch decoration for the last couple of 100 years.
I had a different word for that. It's a better word.
Doormat.
Bitch.
I'm not trying to insult him.
I know, my word was different than yours. Yours was better.
Besides, he's been acting all high and mighty ever since he got, well, you to defend his whole place. He's been
He's
stealing
all-
souls of all the dead.
That
Hank has been working for the man for hundreds of years.
Every death. I'm good.
I don't give a damn about the souls.
Even
How
the
did you
souls of
have
your
the-
own people?
Shush, Abraham.
How did you get the power to do this?
We went about on a quest to acquire a ring of 3 wishes with 1 wish left, and we used it to bring you back.
But apparently you're not happy with that?
No, he's asking questions. He's been dead for a while.
We
There's
probably
something
should.
strange about you, lizard boy.
Definitely.
You didn't do this on your own volition.
I was gently pushed in this direction, that's correct.
By who?
The Raven Queen's followers, and by extension her.
Ah. Now there's the answer. So, the corpse bitch thought bringing me back would kill the thorn in her side. Is that it?
That appears to be it.
When I got bullshit you, it seems like that's what she thought.
So, she thinks I owe her one, huh?
I think she believes that you owe him one.
Her nothing.
Well, don't you owe him one? And he points towards the big mausoleum. For killing you in the first place?
Little worm snuck up behind me, caught me off guard.
That's
Doesn't
not
he
what he's
pay
been
for
telling
that?
others.
Yeah, he made it very dramatic that he beat you in singular combat very fairly, very honorably, and he said you were quite weak when he did it.
He said he was more powerful than you, and so that it was his right to take you.
The point is I do what I want, when I want.
That's
Sure.
fair. Do what you
But-
want. Live in shame for the fact you've been defeated.
Shut up,
Abraham, that's pushing a bit too far, I believe.
Let me ask you a question.
Feel free.
Have you met her? Have you met the Raven Queen?
No.
No.
Only tangentially by one of her followers. I communed with her.
You know, I've always heard that when you die, she takes off that mask and you see her face. I've heard it's the most beautiful face you could ever see. And that angers me more than anything. Being denied the company of a beautiful woman. That cannot be forgiven.
All right.
So, I have a deal for you. He pulls out of his jacket a clay mason jar. Very simple. This is something you would make in arts and crafts, right, as a kid.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you this. When the time is right, smash it. And we'll call ourselves even.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Also, put word out for me.
Oh, the video of you being resurrected is being uploaded as we speak.
Failtor the Slain is gone. Failtor the Endbringer is back. After 200 years of undead servitude, my chains are broken, and I will have my vengeance. And at that point, he begins to fade from his human form. Fire smolders around him as he returns to his true self as Failtor, the Endbringer.
Oh, I
Which looks
really
like
want
this.
one of the scales.
You're welcome.
Holy shit, that's
As-
cool.
As the smoke begins to swell around him, and he disappears, right? You don't feel his presence. You notice another presence begin to step up.
Oh no. Run.
Come get it, bitch. I'll whip your ass.
I think
Come
this is
on.
the time where we go.
Yeah, that seems like.
Let me
a good
ask, did the microphone actually hold up through that? Or did it
No.
Almost.
No, the last
Almost.
Man,
No,
that's
no.
disappointing.
Like there was just one tiny
You
spot at
cut
the
out.
Yeah, there were like
When
you
one or
hit the
two
peak of
hiccups,
all-
and that was
When you
it.
hit the peak, you cut out.
Damn it. I ruined it.
No,
No,
you didn't.
no.
You
Yeah,
really
right.
didn't.
No, it has an effect. Even that has an effect, but you asked. It did cut out.
So,
I'm more concerned about your throat.
Yeah.
no, my throat's mostly fine. So I'm just upset because I wrote that specific part of his speech like 4 months ago, and I've been
No,
waiting.
it cut out like when you peaked out, like has returned. Like that last. Yeah, you cut out like that. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
vengeance broke. Curses.
Yeah.
I'll re-record it
It's
if I have
fine.
to. Anyways, but yeah, so as the smoke begins to
Use
clear,
mine.
I can take him.
I'll insert yours in place. It'll be great. So as the smoke clears out, standing before you in a just kind of basic priest robes is a somewhat decrepit skeleton.
Go fuck yourself.
Where's my dragon?
He flew off.
I gave you an answer. Go fuck yourself.
No, I believe I'd rather do that to you. And he begins to cast a spell.
Counterspell.
You can roll it.
Just immediately counterspell.
Can I shoot?
Can I, while the guy is doing that, do this?
Spell casting ability check. Okay, where is that?
on
That's
Pip's
spell
quiver?
attack? Would a spell attack equivalent to that? Because I don't have like a spell casting check.
Yes, that would be a spell attack.
Okay.
Wait, no, actually, no, that's a lie. It is asking you to check with your spellcasting modifier. So a D20 plus
D20
whatever.
plus your casting modifier.
Yeah.
So for you, it'd be intelligence. So whatever your intelligence modifier is.
Oh, so that doesn't even count proficiency as a wizard? That doesn't make sense. I'm proficient as a wizard to a certain degree.
Let me explain you why that is. That's because the Abjuration wizard gets to add their proficiency to it. No one else does.
So you're
I call horseshit. They should get a bonus for sure, but whatever.
I mean, being a wizard lets you do it at all.
Yeah, you really do it all.
So can I do the thing I wanted to do
Hold on.
Yeah, do what you want to do.
on Pip's quiver?
So, advanced dice roller, please, plus this amount.
As I quiver.
You
And
do
shit.
have to beat a 19.
23!
Woo!
What level were you casting it at?
Normal level.
All right. So
Well, actually, no. Actually, I get what you're saying now. No, I'd like max out because I wanted to beat this. Whatever it was, I was casting it at 4th level because it's just the highest I have. My max is 4.
Awesome. So yeah, you still would have had to roll because he was casting time stop. And so you had to beat a 19, and you did. So you were
Oh,
able
shit.
to counterspell him. As you do, the gaping maw of Failtor snaps shut as he returns from greater invisibility that he had cast on himself. And he snaps down upon Marbon. He snaps the jaws down, and you can see Marbon's legs sticking out. And then he does that snakes or like crocodiles do, where they shake their head, right, to tear stuff. So he shakes twice.
Death roll.
And then he angles his head straight up, and he breathes. As he breathes, you see souls start to pour out of his mouth. shrieking souls.
Question.
Hundreds and hundreds. Go ahead.
So as the souls are leaving him, are they being expelled from him from the breath, or is he expending them to save his life?
You can do an Arcana check to try to figure that out.
So
You're not quite sure.
There's a theory there in my head that he's like trying to save his life by expending souls he's absorbed.
So basically, Talah goes to cast a certain spell and then sees that happening and is like, okay, so I don't have to. Okay, that's great.
What beautiful fireworks.
Yeah, well, that fire definitely works.
Indeed.
But the fire rages, and it's not your normal yellowy oranges. It is white hot, teetering on blue. As Feltor, he stops and takes a large breath and inhale, and does it again and again. More souls continue to pour out until halfway through the second breath, they stop.
I guess he
Who
went for
is
well done.
holding the clay pot?
I am.
You feel it start to shake. The lid opens up, and a skeletal hand starts to a very small skeletal hand starts trying
Close
to
it!
pull itself.
Close it!
I
No,
close
smash it. Smash it.
it. Smash. Die!
As you smash it, it shatters. Ashes inside of it begin to blow away. A feeling of oppression that you guys didn't know was there lifts. You feel lighter. Your spirits feel lighter than they ever have. Otho, with your connection to the divine, you can see all of these souls that have been spewed out. Where you could see on the edge of your vision, before the smashing of the pot, they were reaching all the way up to the dome and bouncing back and being reflected back towards what you can now, because the smoke is cleared, you can see somewhat ruins of the front of the Great Mausoleum. It's kind of a disaster area, as a note. As he was being resurrected and fighting through all of that, there's probably a couple hundred people dead out in front of the Great Mausoleum. But you can see those souls, as they were being redirected towards the mausoleum, fade and disappear. As, with the help of Feltor, along with your actions in breaking the phylactery of Marbon, he has been defeated, and his containment of those souls is broken. And they're now being allowed to move on, for that cycle to continue as it should have been from the get-go. So that cycle of death, rebirth, and renewal, your own God shines brightly upon you, Othokent, because that new day, that beginning, no longer are these souls and the loved ones of many, many people captured and held from moving on to the next stage of existence. Their new beginning starts today, thanks to you and your friends. Marbon stands there in his gigantic, fiery wrath. You can hear him bellow a laugh as he takes to his wings for the first time in 200 years. Feltor heads to the Red Ghetto to reestablish his authority. And who knows exactly what you've unleashed and what it means for the future.
Rock on, Feltor!
You're filming all of this, aren't you, Gobs?
Oh, yes. I also have a figurative simi.
I also need perception checks from everybody.
As Gideon is right behind us.
Mm-mm.
Ugh! I am thinking of the scales. I want a scale.
Both
I'm just
Talah
looking.
and Gobs are distracted by the filming of him flying across the city. Look, this is a good angle, right?
Maybe a little bit lower so he
And
looks
that's
even
where
bigger.
I realized you had the front-facing camera.
Shit!
The whole time.
Oh no!
So Nate and Otho, you notice crossing the bridge behind you is a black funeral carriage. And in front of that carriage, leading the horses, are the three sisters of the Ebon Vale.
Well then.
Well, then
come
what?
Time.
Isn't the new dawn just beautiful?
Look over there.
What? Oh!
Yeah, I'm still recording this as they're approaching.
Make sure to zoom in on her tits.
Shut. I'm planning on like selling this to a TV station.
That sex sells.
They can clip it out. Wait, what? I didn't say
Talah's
anything.
gonna press the stop recording button on Gob's phone.
Also, Gobs was not zooming in.
What?
I think that's plenty of material.
Oh, indeed, this is gonna make us rich if I'm lucky.
Well, anyways, moving back to the point. Greetings! Welcome to...
Yes, it seems you were successful.
Well, yes. Was there any
Yeesh.
doubt?
Did you not see the fire?
Did you not see me stopping time stop?
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
awesome!
Was that what you said?
Wait, that was time stop?
Yeah, he would have stopped time and done whatever the hell he wanted to for several seconds, and he would have been able to cast several spells at once.
That's
I
dangerous.
didn't think that
Master
was possible.
Burke invites you to attend his funeral. He's hoping you will speak.
Oh, he's dead, not reborn. I see.
I mean,
Yes, his penance was to undo what he inadvertently created, and upon the death, the final death of Marvon, he was released. As you look, is anybody going to look inside the carriage?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
So you'll see him laying there. Only it's not his lich form. You see a man in about his 30s, pale skin, long brown hair tied back behind his head. You can see the shirt is undone, so you can still see the hole in his chest. Steve is still on his lapel. And his hands are folded, and he's resting. What you would think would be, it looks like somebody who's just resting comfortably, even though you know he's actually passed on. So his 10,000 years or so of undead torment has ended. So if you'll come with us, we will head to the Raven Queen's Chapel inside the temple. It's been long shut and desecrated, but we can fix that. And we'll lay him to rest. And then we can start a new chapter for this area. No longer the Necromancy Ward, but the Gods Ward has returned, as it should have always been.
I mean, yeah, we can attend. We're not exactly dressed for a funeral, but no,
I am.
You know, that's kind of in his spirit, isn't it?
Knowing Mr. Burke, the more ridiculous your clothes is, the better.
Yes, quite so. Shall we continue?
Of course, let's.
I offer my elbow arm escort to the older lady.
She rolls her eyes and then takes your arm.
Yeah.
And
Abraham's gleeful.
As you proceed slowly but solemnly to the temple itself, as first aid responders are rushing to the area, priests and clerics of the various different religions are rushing out and healing who they can heal, resurrecting who they can resurrect, and along those lines, I believe that's where we will end our session for this week as you attend the funeral of your first employer and the one who brought you together, Dr. Heinrich Burke.
And the man who
That's it.
saved from being a voodoo zombie.
He did indeed. Well, that's everything we have for this week, and we'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye, sexy
Bye.
fellas.
Shit nuts.
Shit
Yeah,
nuts.
shit nuts.
Shit
Yeah.
nuts!
Shit nuts.